Hello and welcome to my writing fiction course. My name's Ben Reeves. I'm the New York Times bestselling author of a book called Everything Was Beautiful and Nothing Hurt, which is traditionally published in several countries. This course is not scripted apart from this intro, and if you have any questions about writing or about any of my books, leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them in a later video. Today's topic is starting out, and I want to talk about why we write. So, obviously, we can write for all different reasons. Each of us has probably got a personal reason why we write. One reason I think we should not write is for money or accolades or fame or anything like that, because all that's going to do is diminish what you're writing. Uh, if those are your goals, if what you're thinking about is money, then you're going to lessen the end product because you're going to be thinking about the wrong things. You're going to be thinking about, right, how can I, get the most people to like this book, and what do people like? So I'll put a bit of that in there and things like that. You don't want to be thinking like that. I feel like the best reason to write is because you want to write a great book. You're really interested in stories, characters, and language, and you want to put the absolute best book out there that you can possibly write. I always say that, like, when I'm writing a novel, I'm trying to write one of the best books ever written. And I know that sounds probably silly, but that's what I'm trying to do. Why would I settle for anything less? I want to write one of the greatest books of all time that is, on par with, it would be on, the sort of book that you would see on a list of 100 greatest books of all time. Because why not? Why not have that goal? So I think we should write because we want to create a great piece of art that resonates with people, that touches people on an emotional level. When people read, perhaps it helps to talk about why people read. When people read to have an emotional experience. Sometimes it's to have an escape. They just want to be out of their own lives for a little while and experience another life. Um, but very often, the reason they would want to do that, the reason they would stick around for that story, um, it's not enough that it just takes them out of their real life, because it could take them out of their real life into something really boring and pointless. We want to take them out of their real life and give them an enjoyable, entertaining, and emotional experience. That's really our goal as a writer. We're trying to, someone has decided not to watch Netflix, not to play a video game, not to do any of these other things that they could be doing. They've decided to sit down and read this book that you've written. We need to give them reasons to stick around, and a lot of the time, I think that's going to be uh, through emotion and through entertainment. It's sort of that collision of art and entertainment, and I believe you can have both. Um, so I think that's why we write. We want to give people this journey. We want them to stick around. And throughout this course, we're going to go through how we do that. How do we entertain? How do we create emotion? Um, if you haven't watched the intro video to this course, I would definitely recommend that, because it's going to take you through what this course is all about, what we're actually going to try and do over the course of this course. But I thought it was important to straight away talk about why we write, um, and your reasons might be different from that, and that's absolutely fine. It might be to prove a point. It might be to get something out of off your chest. It might be to discover how you feel about something. It be all sorts of things, and that's absolutely fine. I think you should know why you write, because that's going to really inform what you do. And I was about to say it should be something internal. Um, it should be something that you really want to do, as opposed to money or fame or prizes or anything like that. Um, but then that sort of contradicts what I said about, we're trying to entertain and give people an emotional experience. Um, but I think that, why do you want to entertain and give people an emotional experience? I think that should be something internal. It should be because you really want to. You want to create the best possible stories you can. It's not a shortcut to making money. It shouldn't. I believe it shouldn't be. I want this to be my job, although that might be a side thing. Um, you know, that might be your ultimate goal. You want to do it for a full time for a full-time job, but it has to come from something internal. It has to come from this need to tell great stories, because that's what's going to help you to tell great stories. It has to be this drive of, I want to give people this amazing experience through characters, through emotion, um, because that's what's going to motivate you to learn how to do it, and to really pour the passion into getting every single line perfect, and crafting each scene like it's the most important thing in your life. That won't come if you're just thinking about the end goals of money and things like that. So, quick one this week. Hope it wasn't too rambly. Maybe I should be scripting these, but I sort of haven't got time. I just want to. These videos are really for. There's so many other good resources for writing and how to tell stories. These videos are just for if you just want to hear my particular take on it. So if you don't, then don't watch them. But if you do, I'm going to hopefully be making more and more videos like this. And yeah, that was today's one, and hopefully I will see you next week. Thank you.